Alright, what's up, guys? Just up here grabbing our second load on the week. I had a whole different video planned, but I keep getting the same sort of question, so I figured it might be something that I can answer in a video for you guys. And in what I want to get into is, while I'm grabbing these Toyotas here, I want to get into what it's like. Um, to be a car hauler, what you can make out here, what the job is like. Is it easy? Is it hard? Just what to expect if you want to get into this job. I want to get into that today, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start loading these things up, and while I'm loading, I'm going to talk to you guys. Hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll get going. So I'm going to start by saying that I have never driven anything but a car hauler. I want to say that I don't want to disparage any other industry out there when I talk about what this is like, but one of the first things you got to do is you need to be able to check your VINs, make sure you are grabbing the correct car. So this isn't going to be just grab and go. Everything's not pulled for you. You do have to pull your own cars. Normally here at our United Road yard, um, this is the first time I've actually had to pull my own cars. So I will say this is normally when you come here, I'll show you in just a second. Most of your cars are already staged for you, and it's nice and easy. They have been putting them in these rows. They're 2 rows side by side, 9 cars each. That is the full load that we're taking, and normally they have all your cars lined up. I got here early, so I wasn't supposed to load till later this afternoon, so I'm assuming they just haven't had time to line my cars up, so I'm going to start pulling my own. But I did grab my first 2 so I can put them on my head rack. So let's get those things loaded up, and let's keep going. All right, so the first thing I want to say with all of this is you are probably going to want to enjoy puzzles. All of this here is a giant puzzle that you're going to need to learn, and you're going to need to master how to work the truck as a whole. These things aren't all that hard to do, but it is a process, and it will take a little while to learn. One of the big things I want to stress is this is not an industry. Everybody wants to say that there is it's easy to make money in this industry when it really isn't. Um, there is a lot of money to be made here, but this isn't going to be kind of, I guess, your get rich quick style scheme of what I guess people seem to think. There is an absolute fortune that can be made out here, and there's a lot of people that make fantastic, what I would consider to be fairly life-changing money, but it isn't something that you're just going to start making in your first 6 months. I try to stress that this job is more of a career than a job. You need to look at it like that. You need to understand that when you master it, you're going to make a killing. While you're mastering it, it's like any other starter job. Um, you, you gotta give your dues. You gotta give your time and learn it. This is not something that you're just going to pick up overnight. But this is something that, like I said, you can make extremely good money. Just quick example. There are going to be weeks and times of the year that kind of suck. When it comes to hauling cars, your summertime is usually your slowest time of the year. Picks up a little bit in the fall, And then you start getting really slammed right around Thanksgiving, and you start you start I guess you start getting slammed right around Thanksgiving, and then right after Christmas is pretty dead time for like 3-4 weeks, and then you get your tax season where you start getting absolutely massacred again. But during the summer lulls, it's not uncommon to be making. It's not uncommon to be making like a. During the summer lulls, it's not uncommon to be only making, I guess I would say, that $1,500 to $2,000 range. But during the busy seasons, you will again make a killing. Those are the times where you're making $2,000 to $3,000 per week paychecks. And then those just cover you during the slower time of the year. You will have, especially here at United Road, you will get specialty hauls from time to time. This Toyota load would be considered one of those specialty hauls, and that load I did last week, taking those Land Rovers down to Texas. Those are also specialty hauls. Those weeks, you will literally make a mild fortune. I can't say what this load or that load down to Texas actually paid the truck, but I will say last week alone, I did just a tick shy of $4,000 for the week. This week, today is Tuesday, and I'm up here. I've already delivered a $2,500 run into West Virginia. I'm grabbing this run. These two loads, I'll have this delivered probably later this evening down in Georgia. If not, it will be first thing tomorrow morning, and I am already up over between the two. What is that? I'm around $2,200 already in my paycheck this week. So my 2-week pay period is going to run around. Right now, I should be sitting pretty darn close to $6,000 between these 2 weeks. Climb in these cars, get this started. Plus, next week in my paycheck, I get my monthly bonus, which this month my monthly bonus was $2,273. So that will go on top of my $6,000 paycheck. And I don't know if we get our quarterly bonus this month or if it's next month. I never remember. That just kind of seems to pop up. But that quarterly bonus also will be, if it's the same as what they have been so far this year, right around the same dollar figure, should be right around another $1,100. So, like I said, you can make a fortune doing this. Literally, my next week's paycheck, if I stopped right now, which I'm going to do another full West Virginia turn and then back down to Tennessee. So that should add me another, that should be really another $1,200 onto my paycheck. So, yeah, I could very, very easily turn a $8,000 to $9,000 paycheck for these last 2 weeks. That's something I want to stress. That right there is where they say you make absolute an absolute fortune, because you do. But you have to put your time in. You're not going to get these kind of runs being a new driver. You have to prove that you're not going to damage stuff, because there is there has to be an absolute zero chance that you're going to damage anything on one of these specialty hauls. So they're not going to give it to you if you are learning. You have to prove that you can do this without messing anything up. Because look, like that Land Rover run, um, they're paying that much because they want the expert drivers. They can't have a car show up that can't be in the competition when they have people literally flying in a day later to compete. So that is something that you have to understand, that you're not going to get those in the very beginning, but they are available. Once you do get them, they are amazing, but that is something that you have to work up to. Also, starting out, you have to understand your first year is going to be kind of tough. Don't expect to show up, get gravy runs, and all the best of the best. Not because they won't give it to you because you're new, but because they don't know you. They don't know where you want to haul. You're going to tell them, but they have to develop a routine around you to get you your work, and you have to develop a routine around them to know how the yards work and all that sort of stuff. So you have to build that confidence up, and then you'll get fairly good runs. They're not always going to be the junk runs, but on the same note, you will get some junk runs. Like I've said, my last couple back hauls have been 5-6 car stops or 5-6 drop back hauls, which do suck. It's also the end of the season. We have a strike going on. That stuff happens. So don't, like I'm trying to stress here, don't expect to just jump in and be making an absolute fortune on day one out here. I seem to be getting a lot of drivers that seem to be frustrated. I seem to be getting a lot of drivers that seem to be quite frustrated when their first month isn't that great, and it's not going to be. You have to, like I said, you just got to put forth the time. They got to learn you. You got to learn the ropes, and the money will come. It's just not something that is dropped in your lap. Working a car hauler is not going to be. It's not a lottery ticket, I guess I would say. Then next, understand the work that you're getting into. You hear me breathing kind of hard. This isn't the easiest job on the face of the earth. You are going to be walking miles, and many miles most days. I'm breathing kind of hard because I'm fat, but besides that, you have to understand that you're getting into a pretty physically demanding industry. Don't get here and think that this is going to be a cushiony back into a dock style job. If you don't like humping pallets off of your truck, if you're a dry van or a reefer hauler now, don't get into this industry, because there are days where you will go to an auction and you're going to spend 5-6 hours pulling cars in 105-degree weather, or in sleet and snow, or for me, what I absolutely hate the most is absolute monsoon rainstorms. You're going to have those days. and you just have to understand that you're pushing through it. Get yourself a nice rain suit, get yourself nice boots, and be prepared to work. This, like I said, this isn't a uh, cakewalk job. It's not a hard job. I'm not going to say that this is very a very difficult, demanding job, but it's not easy. My dad is, I think, 63, 64 this year, and he puts out almost the exact same dollar figures I do. There are months that he beats me out here, and there's months that I beat him, but for the most part, we're usually at the end of the month within, I would say, $2,000 to $3,000 of each other. I'm 36 years old. He's 63 years old. He has bad hips, so if he can do it, so can any of you younger drivers. It might not be the most pleasant experience all the time, but you have to have the ability to just push through any discomfort that you're going to have because it's 105 out. You just, like I said, you just put your head down and deal with it. And if you don't have that mentality, if you have that mentality of wanting to be lazy and just not working hard, you're not going to make any money here. You'll make more money being in a reefer, a tanker, a dry van than you'll ever make here. Because unless you're a hard worker, you're not going to make money in cars. Hauling cars is going to be all about the hustle. From the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, you are going to need to hustle. And if that is your type of personality, you are a farm worker without a farm type of thing, meaning you don't mind getting up early, you don't mind putting in a lot of hours, and you don't mind working your butt off, then you will make a fortune here. You will have these big $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 weeks from time to time. And I'm not going to say they're uncommon. They're not very common, meaning like you're not going to get one of those every month. But they're not uncommon, meaning there's a possibility, there's a pretty good possibility that you will get 4 to 6 of these style weeks a year. And you got to think, if you can do 6 weeks at $8,000 a piece, in those 6 weeks you made $48,000. So you're making what most people make in a year, you're making in 6 weeks out of the year. So just put the time in, put the effort in. And then I will say next is going to be like when I started off, enjoy puzzles. Every load is different, and they all load differently, and you have to learn them. That is part of enjoying what you're doing. I turned around and you saw on those those Land Rover Defenders, that the first couple ways we tried didn't work out very well. The first 3 attempts did not work. We loaded 6 cars, took us about 4 hours, between 3 to 4 hours to get them all pulled, get them all loaded, because it is just a different beast than what really any of us going up there were doing. It is something that you just have to understand, that sometimes you're going to throw that car on, you're going to look at it, and it's not working for you, and you just have to kind of look at it, step back for a second, and go, okay, you know what? This is why we are given these specialty hauls, because we are the drivers that aren't just going to get pissed off, flip out, and blow up about it not working. You're going to sit back for a few minutes. You're going to have to look at the load, and you're going to have to figure out how to make it work. And that's part of the fun of it. That's the puzzle that you get doing this sort of stuff. Is there's going to be times you just have to look at it and figure it out. But you're a car hauler. That is your job. You don't want to do that kind of stuff. Pick a career that you don't have to figure anything out. Everything's just laid out for you. They load the stuff, or you hook a hose up and fill a tank. I mean, there's always those jobs. If you don't like figuring out how to put this stuff on. All right. So, and then kind of the last little bit, and this is kind of just, I guess, what I've already talked about, is you have to have a good head on your shoulders in the aspect of don't you can't be a high strung person. Um, yeah, I'm sure there's a few high strung people that run cars. I have met a few of them over the years, but for the most part, you have to be someone that is calm, who isn't going to get super frustrated over little hiccups here or there. This is more of a industry that there's going to be a lot of problems with your loads, with cars. You're gonna show up to load 5 pickup trucks, and you were told they're all F-150s, which they are, but they are all F-150s with 6-inch Baja lift kits riding on 44s with roof racks on them, and all of a sudden now you can load 3, or you can't load any because you're in a high rail, and that stuff happens. You have to keep a calm head on your shoulders. You can't let that stuff eat at you, and having a bad load from time to time ruin your day. Last week, you guys saw in that last video that I did, I had a really, really bad load coming out of Midlothian that apparently me and another driver each had the same stops loaded the same day, and we both had 4, 5, 6 stop loads sort of thing. That stuff is an annoyance, but you have to let it go. The load out of Midlothian there paid absolute dirt, but the load going down there made up for it. And then I got a pair of amazingly gravy loads coming out of Smyrna to finish off the week. So I ended up doing dang near $20,000 last week, simply because of the loads that we were given. I think it came out to like high 17s, low 18s, something like that for a total on the week. And I had, like I said, I had that great load. I had a bad load. Then I had an okay Ford load going back to Nashville that paid like $1,500 or something like that. Then I grabbed two back-to-back $1,500 runs out of Smyrna, going down to Knoxville, which is like 170 miles. So, I mean, that was just cake work. And the second load ended up being a one dropper. So that the loads make up for themselves. You get a bad load from time to time. You might get a bad load every week, but normally the other loads make up for that one. Ooh, I almost rolled my ankle. Normally those your other loads make up for those crummy loads, and you'll average out around $2,000 to $2,500 take home weekly. I would say that's right now with the raises and stuff that we've gotten. That seems to be the dollar figure that you'll get. So as you get better, you're going to it gets better for you. Now, I'll just tell you, my first year here at United Road took a little getting used to their system. I didn't make the killing that I made last year. So the year, I'm not going to say exactly what I made last year here. Well, actually, yes, I will. So my first year here, I only did about $95,000 for the year. When I first got hired, they said most drivers make a bit over 50 in their first year. I did 95. Wasn't too bad. The year after, I don't remember what it was, but it was well over 100,000. I'd say probably mid 120s, maybe a low 130. And then last year I did 161,000 here as a company driver. So this year seems to be a little bit more challenging just because of the market that we're in, but I will still make probably roughly right around the same this year as I did last year, and I would say that's probably damn near average, especially the fact that I'm home every weekend. But that's just kind of the stuff you gotta take into consideration doing this job. Is it's not going to be a cakewalk. This is not a job that you're going to make a ton at if you're lazy. If you get frustrated and don't want to work, this isn't the car hauling's not going to be the job for you. If you're someone that just wants to drive, I would look elsewhere. You don't make an absolute killing on each load, but the loads that I guess the amount of work that you can do and really add up let the loads kind of pile on top of each other throughout the week. That's where you start to really make a killing doing cars, and that's where car hauling really excels it is going to be in your ability to, if you're a hard worker, make an absolute killing. So that's kind of what that's kind of my thought process on the whole ordeal here. No. So that's kind of what you got to think about is what kind of a worker are you? Are you someone that's lazy and just wants to drive and not hustle? Are you someone that truck stop hops? Then this is probably the wrong industry. What's up, guys? I hope you got something out of this vlog. We just got down here to deliver one of my favorite loads to do. These Toyotas are super easy. Obviously, they're all one type of vehicle, so they can be loaded almost any way. They're easy to put on, they're light, they pay a lot. So, it's a great load, but this is just kind of something to expect as you come into car hauling to decide if this is really right for you. If it is, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. And guys, I hope to see you on the next one. I'm going to get these things off and I'm going to go get my next load. So catch you in a bit. Bye.